Hey everybody, this is Robert from Black Belt Gaming. As many of you know, I was one of the first, if not the first, people on YouTube to do solo game board playthroughs. However, once Descent 2nd Edition came along, I decided to try it out with some friends over Facebook and YouTube, and we had a great time. In fact, I'm still thinking of picking up where we left off and moving forward with that campaign. I haven't picked up a lot of the expansions for Descent. I did pick up a couple of the solo expansions because I'm primarily a solo gamer due to my location and the language barriers here in Japan. But do you guys know about this? Descent Heirs of Blood. Evidently this is another book of adventures that you can use with the original set. You don't have to buy any additional pieces, but evidently it's a whole new story. I haven't tried this yet, but I do have that. So I'm kind of all over the place. What I'm getting at here is just this evening after I was teaching today, there was an application on the Play Store. I have an Android phone that's evidently connected to Descent here. And as I used to play with people over YouTube, I was the overlord and they were moving the different player pieces around. That was a lot of fun, something I'd like to do again, either with this game or some others that I have. But there's evidently an app out now that takes charge of the overlord for you, and I thought we could take a look at that. Alright, you might barely be able to hear the music there in the background, but this is called Descent Road to Legend Fantasy Flight. This is an app that I have on my phone, downloaded it tonight, and I haven't used it other than to list that I have the original box set. It asks you what board game expansions you have for Descent. I didn't see this booklet listed on there, but some of the other major box expansions seem to be there. So I've entered that in. Let's say I want to do a new campaign. I'm doing this for the very first time. Well, let's see. Rise. Is that Goblins Rise or Rise Goblins? Let's choose that one. Select a save slot. We'll just pick one. Select heroes. I'm trying to remember the heroes we were playing with before. I think we were using all... Let's see. I remember Tumble was there. And I remember we had Leoric. And I think we had the Necromancer on there, and then maybe for that first game we had the Dwarf too. Those are the ones I remember. So we'll hit continue, and maybe here it's giving us a choice of the different class. I remember 2 decks of cards, and I think we had Thief. Here was Rune Master. This was Necromancer, and I think our fighter was a Berserker. And group name, I guess we could change that to something. I don't think I'll worry about that right now. Please select a name for your party. Okay, we'll just call it Facebook Party, good, because that was what friends on my Facebook page were doing. By the way, if you're interested in playing some games with me over YouTube, check out Black Belt Gaming on Facebook, and we might be able to play together. Okay. So, would you like to play the Road to Legend tutorial quest? Sure, why don't we just see what this thing is all about. Alright, it's got some sound here.
Scrawled in large, wicked things that dumb heroes like you always fight. You must come here, beat them up, and break their things to stop the unthinkable. The end of all goblins. You obviously don't know where the lair of all goblins is, so I drew a map. Don't lose it. Your fearsome master, Splig.
The map is rough, but legible, leading to a place you clearly recognize as the Peregreth Ruins. Having nothing better to do, you gather your gear and depart.
Alright, we'll press begin. So my best guess is that this application is going to allow us to play as many characters as we want to, and the little device here is going to take care of all the overlord actions for us. So let's see if I can zoom in on this text a little bit. Welcome to the tutorial. This is designed to teach you the rules. If you have any questions, alright, there is an online PDF, so we'll just hit continue. When you begin, each player should have the following in his play area: the hero sheet, the tokens, the figure, all that kind of stuff that you would need for a regular game. Once again, you do need the game to use this. It's a companion app, is what I'm understanding. There are other things you can return to the box that you don't need at this time. So let's just move forward. And it says remove the following search cards from the deck. Okay. And players are frequently instructed to perform the following, which in general requires them to interact with the screen, okay, or manipulate elements on the game board. Players should carefully read and perform these. Alright, gotcha. And perform the following. Set aside tiles 2, 5, and 9. So I guess it's going to help you set up the game. So it gives you a little bit of, looks like mood text there. And you need to choose a hero to descend first by selecting that hero's portrait. So if you look over here, we can select, why don't we have our little scout go first. We'll let Tumble go down there and see what he can find. So it looks like it's adding us a little more. Okay, you hear some sort of trap. The floor bursts apart and you tumble down. And the new when new areas are explored, the corresponding tiles and tokens are displayed on the screen with instructions to place them, set up the tiles. Alright, so it gives us 2B, extender, end cap, and 1 door. Alright, so it's going to walk us through this step by step. Let's see, the soot clears. So still continues with the mood text because you're probably playing this solo, or I don't know, I guess you could play this with a group of friends and see how the overlord is going to react through this application. So we need to place Tumble on the space indicated. It tells us where. And well, let's see. Tumble is defeated. Suffer wounds equal to his health and fatigue equal to his stamina as normal. And each other hero places a figure adjacent to the indicated space. So Tumble's already taken out, is that right? Becoming knocked out has an added danger in this game. Each hero is knocked out. Morale, displayed in the upper left corner, decreases by 1. If a hero is knocked out when morale is already at 0, the heroes lose the quest. So that's interesting. I don't remember that being in the regular board game version, but it's been a while since I played, so I could just be forgetting that. but we have morale. Each round starts with a hero's turn, similar to the standard rules. Okay. Perform the following. Players choose a hero other than Tomble. For the chosen hero's first action, he should perform a revive action. Make sure to roll 2 red and have Tomble recover health and fatigue as normal. Alright, so maybe we would be rolling the dice there. And when a hero is knocked out, players must select a hero's portrait and select the KO button. In this tutorial, Tomble was knocked out automatically, marked by the red X over his portrait. Let's see if that's marked out. Yeah, got a big red X over him. When he recovers, he is no longer knocked out. So select the portrait and then hit the recover button. So we'll select his portrait. Looks like we've got 2 options there. We'll hit recover. So as he stands, 2 small bottles slip from a pocket, plopping into a murky puddle. Place 1 search token as shown in the same space as Tomble. Okay. And players can interact with elements on the map like doors and tokens by selecting them on the screen. The hero who revived Tomble still has 1 action remaining, which he can use to use the search token or search the search token. So perform a search action. Well, let's see if we can select that search token. We'll hit search over here. And it says reveal search cards from the deck until you find 1 health potion and 1 stamina potion. Draw those cards, so shuffle the rest back. Then discard this token. Searching can give search cards, award gold, or trigger traps. Only draw a search card when instructed. Road to Legend doesn't need to know when a hero starts a turn, but it does need to know when that turn has concluded. Now that the knocked out hero has been revived and a search token has been searched, the hero who performed the action is finished. So we select, I guess we select that hero's portrait and select in the turn button. So let's say maybe it was our Berserker there who was helping Tomble out. We'll hit end turn. So a second hero can now take his turn. If the heroes wish to discover the nature of Splig's plight, they have to continue exploring this dungeon. So we choose a different hero to resolve his turn. Perform a move. Move that hero adjacent to a door and perform the open door action. So I guess we should try that now. Let's see. We'll hit the continue. We've got the door there. Let's say we moved up to the door. We can confirm that we're opening the door. And opening the door reveals new tiles and dangers. When new tiles are revealed, attach them to the map following the setup instructions. So there we go. It's giving us more map pieces. It tells us which ones. And some more text here. Dead goblins fill this room. Most of the bodies lie in a single haphazard pile. We place 1 objective token face down as shown. This is the pile of bodies. Okay, so it's up there. So we'll confirm this to move forward. Several of the corpses stir. A crystal staff is stuck into the center of the heap, feeding dark energy into the rising remains. Place zombies as shown. So it looks like we have 3 zombies that will arise. So now the monsters are added to the monster tracker. I guess that's over here. Alright. Monsters are added to the monster tracker on the right side of the screen when they enter. The tracker displays which monsters are on the map and if they have activated this round. When a monster group enters play, place its monster card near the map. Use Act 1 monster cards until you are instructed to use Act 2. And place 2 search tokens as shown. Alright. So far what I'm seeing is, instead of setting up the entire board beforehand, I don't know if the regular missions will play like this, but this kind of has us going one tile at a time. Normally the active hero could continue his turn after opening a door, but for the purpose of this tutorial, end his turn now. Also, if heroes have abilities that interrupt monster activations, please ignore them for the upcoming activation. Well, why don't we say maybe that was Tomble again, opening the door. So we have zombies. Each attack gains +1 and tutorial. After each hero's turn, one monster group can activate. The name and special effect of that group is displayed during the activation. For this activation, each attack gains 1 additional, I forgot what that's called. We'll just say lightning bolt for now. Alright, these are minion zombies. Road to Legend chooses to activate either the masters or minions first and display an activation for that type. In this case, the minions activate first. Monsters activated individually perform 2 actions each. Monsters attempt to perform the actions in order from top to bottom. Alright. Players can activate individual minions or masters in any order. For this tutorial, however, players will start with the minion zombies closest to the heroes. The first action instructs the zombie to engage the closest hero, the one who opened the door. So he's going to attack Tomble here. When a monster engages, it performs a move action and moves toward a particular space. In this case, the space that contains the closest hero. During this movement, the monster spends a few movement points as few movement points as possible and stops when it is adjacent to that space, or it has no other movement points remaining. So we resolve the zombie's first action. So I think that would be the movement, which is engage the closest hero. So I guess we're going to go to the attack next. There are many small choices to make while playing, such as what route the monster should take and when not given explicit instruction, players should make the decision quickly and continue playing. The second action instructs that the zombie should attack, which resolves the standard, just like the standard rules. However, many monsters have clarifications, in particular how they spend the lightning bolt results. So it's pointing to the zombies there. Legend provides these clarifications for player reference in the info panels at the top of the screen. Select the info button. Okay, so it's pointing here. Let's see. Alright, so this gives us the information that's actually on the monster card. They spend these in the following order. So isn't it usually the Overlord's choice? But here it's going to tell us what they prioritize. Alright. So when attacking, the zombie will spin the first lightning bolt to disease the hero, but only if that zombie is dealing damage, because of the core rule that you need to deal damage in order to apply a condition. If spending a surge, that's right, surge is what it's called, would have no effect, proceed down the list to the next ability. And roll the zombie's attack dice. Remember that the effect, give the zombie additional surges. Okay, if you get additional surges. And the target's defense dice. Resolve the attack and select any part of the screen to close the info panel. Select any part of the screen to close the info panel. Okay. Alright, having performed 2 actions, the first zombie has resolved its activation. There's still 1 minion zombie to activate, so players start at the top of the action list. So players start at the top of the action list. Even though performing the first action cannot give a zombie adjacent to the closest hero, it will, let's see, performing the first action cannot get the zombie adjacent to the closest hero. It will still move toward that hero with 3 movement points. So resolve the minion zombie's first action. Alright, so another one may be closing in there. The second action instructs to attack, which it cannot resolve because it's a melee monster. If the monster cannot fulfill the condition, it skips the entirety of that action and attempts the next one. This cycles back to the top of the action list if necessary until 2 actions have been performed. So if it can attack, it looks like it's going to continue to try to engage. Note that the action restrictions for monsters still apply because zombies have the shambling ability. The minion cannot perform the action at the top of the list. It's already moved once. It still cannot attack, so there's nothing remaining in the list that the zombie can perform. If a zombie has only used 1 action, but there's nothing in its list that it can perform, its activation is finished. Alright. All zombie minions have activated, and now it's time for the master to activate. That's right, there was a master on the board. Select all minions activated. There it is. So now we go to the master one. Unlike the minion zombies, the master one is already adjacent to the closest hero. Performing the action with engage will not move the zombie, so that one is skipped. The next one is there, so it's going to make an attack. Alright, let's say it makes its attack on Tumble. Cycling to the top of the action list, the zombie would engage the closest hero, assuming that the target of the zombie's attack was not defeated. This engage action is skipped because it's still adjacent. Because of the standard rule of descent that each monster can attack only once per activation, the zombie skips this action. With nothing left to do, it's just going to end its turn. Now that the zombies have activated, select all zombies have activated button. You have activated your first group of monsters. During each round, play alternates between hero turns and monster activations as the quest progresses. And defeat group, force activate, and info. So defeat group. What if we press defeat group? Not letting us do that. What about force activate? Not doing that. Info, not doing that. Oh, I think I'm skipping ahead here. During a quest, monster groups come and go as heroes defeat them, or scenario rules remove them. If all monsters of a group have been defeated, select the monster's icon in the monster group tracker and select defeat group. That was what that was for. Okay. Having resolved the zombie ambush, play passes back to the heroes. Players should continue exploring the dungeon, fighting monsters, and investigating the strange necromancy at play. Your heroic feats are available once per quest as usual. That's right, you had a heroic ability there, a feat that you could use one time, and then I think you turned over your card. So use them when needed. Finally, players should not forget that they can select elements of the map, such as the pile of bodies, anytime for more information on how they are used. So continue resolving hero activations, if any, until the round ends. Alright, well, I don't have the whole board set up right now, but let's say we're going to end his turn and we'll end her turn. And it says dark energy spirals around the staff and then infuses itself into the pile of bodies. More of the decaying dead begin to pull themselves from the heap. So, Road to Legend will often spawn new monsters to face the heroes. When instructed to place monsters, priority is given to masters spawning over minions. If masters are already on the map, place minions instead. That's right, I think I remember that. Always respect group limits, unless instructed otherwise. So place one zombie adjacent to the pile of bodies. And we're entering a new round. It's now time to start the next round. Players continue to resolve turns in the order of their choice, remembering 3 important things. When each hero, when his turn ends, select that hero's portrait and select end turn. When a hero is defeated, you select KO. And when the entire monster group is defeated, select the monster's portrait and select group defeated. Alright. So there we go. Morale. I don't remember that one being a part of the game before. So let's say we continued fighting for a while, and we've got some icons down here. Let's see what happens when we push those. Skill training. Alright. So can't remember how that worked. Maybe that happened. Oh, that's right. If you kind of leveled up your character, you get some extra cards. That's probably what that is. What do we have with the bag here? Party inventory. It shows you what you're carrying. So we have a chipped great axe, throwing knives, arcane bolt. Who's carrying the lucky charm? I don't know. And then there's this little scroll over here. Facebook party. Alright, we have our group. They are insignificant. We have our objective. And kind of lists everything we need to be doing. Okay, that's what those other buttons appear to do. So what happens if I selected defeat group? Defeat zombies? Yeah, we killed them all. We're awesome. So what happens now? Let's see. Maybe there's something else on here that we need to touch or explore. Well, I don't see any other doors, so maybe as we're playing through this tutorial, maybe we need to... Why don't we try one of these search tokens? It gives us a chance. A chest overflows with knickknacks. Alright, we'll search it. As you rummage through the chest, you discover a pressure plate at the bottom. You have to make a test Let's say we are great and we pass the test. You withdraw your arm just before the chest clamps shut violently. And discard it, and you got 28 gold. Alright, this search token has given you gold. Gold is automatically tracked. Its uses will be explained later in the tutorial. So maybe what we need to do is destroy this staff. A crystal staff feeds the dark energy as an action. An adjacent hero may test either one of these to break it. So let's say we pass that test. It shatters, energy escapes into the air. Discard this token and each hero recovers. I believe that was 2 fatigue. So with sickly growls, large hounds slide from the shadows, their maws crusted with brown and red. So it designates a space in which you're to place monster or monster groups. Place the monsters as close as possible to the space indicated on the map. There is a little space on the map indicated here. So place the, is it called Vargest group? Remember to respect group limits and then continue play. Alright, so I think it's given us this group over here. We would battle those, taking our activations, I think. And that is kind of a look at this application. I know I haven't completed the tutorial, but I think it gives you an idea of sort of what it's like. This is my very first time messing around with this thing at all. So I'm looking forward to trying it out and maybe doing a playthrough for you here on my channel. I'm sure some other folks will as well. So anyway, I hope this was helpful and gave you an idea of what this is. Supposedly, this thing will allow you to not only use the core set, but once again, any of those expansions that you have invested in, the boxed ones, this evidently will take care of those as well. I installed this application for free. I don't know if there are other purchases to be made separately later. Maybe there are some other, I don't know, maybe kind of like this book, maybe there are some other new adventures or stories that they might download using your components, or provide as a download that you might pay for to play some other adventures you've never seen before. I don't know. Just guessing about that, but that's kind of a first glance at this application, so I hope it helped. Take care, everybody. I'll catch you later.